Roseanne Barr says, even the head vampire himself knows blaming Israel is insane. Tim Pool says Nick Fuentes is the voice of reason. We're going to play a couple of Nick's clips that he's been talking about this. And I largely agree with Nick on the Charlie Kirk situation.
Time to wake up, guys. Some of this, I'll be the first one to say, the conspiratard schizo thing, it's getting a little out of control.
That's my word. Hold on. Is Nick watching? I don't know many other people that use conspiratard. I use it all the time. All the time. I did the show called Non-Schizo Nationalism with his friend Keith Woods that he got so mad about. He had a falling out with Keith Woods because he came on my show. We know he saw it. It seems like he is watching. I don't know that he is, but for more reasons than just conspiratard too, by the way. But I agree. And this has been also because this has been my main criticism of him. He's delegitimizing anti-Semitism and making it look like a discredited villain by constantly saying Jews killed Jesus. Yeah, I know Doc Jake Holiday posted and he says it sounds like me and Amalek. A lot of his takes in the last year, little over a year, have been shifting towards my positions.
Getting a little out of control. And that's coming from me. I mean, it's like we are truly through the looking glass. When Charlie Kirk is assassinated, people blame Israel. I, who fought Charlie Kirk because he was pro-Israel, am being said to, I'm being said to be covering up that he was killed for this miraculous conversion. If Ben...
And who's doing it? It's being pushed by the Russia shill network that we've already been aware of. And that's who's coming after him. They're targeting Spencer, too, because he's got the same position. I haven't seen them come after me much, but they have in the past for this.
Shapiro was taken out next, and God forbid, would Israel be behind that, too? I mean, that would be equally ridiculous. If it was Ben Shapiro on Wednesday, people would be saying, Israel did it. Shapiro was about to become a National Socialist. Like, what? It's crazy.
It is a stretch. It is a stretch.
Israel. You know it. I know it. I think the Israel thing is totally falling apart. And the reason it's falling apart is because Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. You know it. I know it. We all know it. It's been a week. We can be a little bit more candid now. Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel until the day that he died.
Yeah, at this rate, Nick's going to be a Viking pagan in the next few years. The way things are headed with Nick, he's going to join Richard Spencer and be an Apollonian pretty soon. The true Rome, the non-Jewish Rome in Italy.
And for all these people that want to pull up the private text messages and conversations, I understand that you didn't want America to fight a ground war in Iran. That doesn't mean he wasn't pro-Israel. I'll give you one example, then we'll get into the newest stuff. The day before he died, Israel bombed Qatar. Huge. That's a huge deal. It's unprecedented. Israel bombed yet another country. Added it to the list. They've bombed Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Iran, Tunisia, or the territorial waters of Tunisia. They bombed, there was an infographic out recently. They bombed like a dozen countries. They bombed another one. They bombed Qatar of Tunisia. Do you know who Charlie Kirk brought on to discuss this? Ben Shapiro. And people said, well, but he asked Ben Shapiro these.
Yeah, Fuentes should just abandon Jesus and go back to his Aztecian ancestry, his pre-Christian Mexican lore. Yeah, Quetzalcoatl. He'll worship Quetzalcoatl, whatever the name is.
Tough questions. Okay, but if you're bringing on Ben Shapiro,
not allowed in Valhalla.
What does that tell you? If I brought on some Chinese national to talk about the war in China, what am I doing? If I brought on some Russian national to talk about the war in Russia, what am I doing? Josh Hammer, a mouthpiece for the Israeli government. He works at Newsweek, used to work for Shapiro. Josh Hammer said in a podcast that he talked to Charlie the week he died, and they went over talking points for how to defend Israel on the campus tour. Charlie's rabbi said the morning of the day he was killed, they talked about strategies to defend Israel. So time to wake up, guys. Some of this, I'll be the first one to say, the conspiratard schizo thing is getting a little out of control. It was 150 million, although that's what's being claimed. It's crazy. Anyway, so that, I mean, that just needs to be said. Like, people talk about, and we talked about it last night, did Netanyahu give Charlie Kirk $150 million or offer it up? I've heard that claimed. I don't know if that's the dollar amount.
Yeah, where is this source? What's the proof of that? 150 million? That seems like a lot of money. That would be doubling their yearly revenue.
I've had friends of mine tell me that, yes, Charlie refused an infusion of cash. I have not heard any receipts that it was 150 million, although that's what's being claimed. And if there is any evidence, I would implore Candace Owens.
I wouldn't doubt. They were calling him anti-Semitic. They were mad about Tucker Carlson being at TPUSA. I'm sure they were mad about the Patrick Bet David podcast saying that they want to ethnically cleanse and that could have been a stand down. I'm sure both things could be true. He could have been having a little bit of a rift and some friction with his Zionist donors, and he still could have got killed by a leftist. And they're going to capitalize and try to exploit his death to their advantage. All of those things can be true. In fact, all of those things are Occam's razor most likely to be the case. All right, more from Fuentes. His comment on low IQ anti-Semitism, which I've been speaking out a lot. My big criticism of Nick is that the Christian anti-Semitism is low IQ anti-Semitism. Yo, Prison Palace is here. So annoyed by the situation. Have a great stream. Been a while, Prison Palace. Been missing you. Where you been?
Did for the past week was gaslight the public. And by definition, that's what it is. Gaslight her audience, gaslight the public. Netanyahu lied. They shot him in the throat because they're taking his voice. I have all these receipts, but I'm not going to publish them. And then literally a week later, she's going to put on Twitter, oh, I never said they were behind it. I never said that at all. I just strongly implied it. We all know what you said. We all know what you meant. You dummy. You irresponsible, grifting dummy. I've so had it with that. And at the end of the day, And
remember, he's been having drama with Candace for a while now. And she had him on, and it was a hit job. And then she's teamed up with Milo to attack him, and she teamed up with Tucker Carlson to attack him. And the Gray Zone and Max Blumenthal did articles calling him a Fed and saying stuff about him as well. So take that into the context as well.
That's stupid and defines low IQ anti-Semitism. I used to think it didn't exist.
It does. It does exist. And Jews killed God is the top example of it. The Jews killed Jesus is the epitome of low IQ anti-Semitism. They killed the God that gave me my religion and saved my soul. They killed the Messiah that was meant to rule the world. That's low IQ anti-Semitism, Nick. You know I'm right. Just like I was right about Trump, right about Jesus being fake and Jewish and low IQ anti-Semitism. You have to see it.
We all know what you said. We all know what you meant. You dummy. You irresponsible, grifting dummy. I've so had it with that. And at the end of the day, she's just stupid and defines low IQ anti-Semitism. I used to think it didn't exist. I used to think that low IQ anti-Semitism is just something that Jewish people would say to counter the rising tide of people acknowledging Jewish power.
You didn't think it exists?
It's real. And It has a name. That name is Candace Owens Farmer. Low IQ anti-Semitism. The idea that Charlie Kirk was silenced for being about to go against Israel, it's just on its face absurd and ridiculous. And so anyway, all those people that said, oh, Nick got the call. Nick's really afraid right now. Believe you me, when we get back to our regularly scheduled programming next week, when we have processed everything having to do with this horrific assassination, rest assured, we will be talking about the Middle East conflict. I have not changed my views even slightly, not even in a minute way, not at all. The idea that Israel's number one cheerleader on the right wing was somehow killed by Israel, sorry, not buying it. And the people promulgating that idea, they're not even saying that.
True.
Tucker's not saying that. Candace isn't saying that. They're just weirdly implying it. And I wonder why that is. Releasing no evidence. And I would reiterate, this is the last thing I'll say before we move on.
Nick looks like he could take us to Neverland. He's like Peter Pan. He never wants to grow up. He's like Michael Jackson.
No, Candace Owens made a very specific claim. She said that Charlie Kirk sent a letter to Netanyahu, and she said that Netanyahu held up that letter when he eulogized Charlie Kirk in the news the day of. She said, and he mischaracterized the contents of the letter. She said, and if he keeps doing that, I'll reveal the letter. You need to reveal the letter. Show us what you have. Once again,
how does she know what's in the letter that Charlie sent to Netanyahu? That's my question. How does she made the claim that Netanyahu misrepresented what was in Charlie's letter. How does she know what's in the letter? And if you know what's in there, you don't just say it, you show it. This is why I think she's a fraud. That's a big reason right there.
Again, if you have any integrity at all, or if you care at all about your journalistic credibility, you have to release the information. Do not hide. Do not backpedal. Do not gaslight. Now that you got called on your bullshit, dummy, now that you got called on your nonsense, show us what you have. Not behind a paywall, not next week on Becoming Brigitte, not next on our next season. No cliffhangers, please. No grifting. Well, subscribe and then you gain it. No. You need to put out the letter. Where is the letter? Where is the letter that Charlie Kirk sent to Netanyahu that you say Netanyahu mischaracterized? Show us the letter. Scan it, put it on Twitter immediately. Otherwise, you're a joke.
Isn't it obvious she doesn't have the letter?
Just as bad as the lying Jewish media, because that's the kind of shit that the Jewish...
She doesn't have a letter just as much as she doesn't have a list that says Adam King was at this retreat. That's what I think. Because if she did, wouldn't she be showing them? Everybody's against her. She could just bring the whole house down and show it and expose Netanyahu as a fraud forever, and she doesn't show anything. She doesn't supply any evidence.
Jewish media pulls. It's no different.
Hold on. Let's see. I want to see if there's any memes. They're all calling him, saying he got the Jew call and showing him dressed as a rabbi and at the wall and stuff. Look, Nick Fuentes is running cover for Israel again. He got the call for sure. 6,000 likes.
And a lot of control.
6,000. I think this is Jackson Hinkle, a Jackson Hinkle connected RTSG. I think.
Time to wake up, guys. Time to wake up, guys. Some of this, I'll be the first one to say, the conspiratard schizo thing.
Okay,
Shapiro was about that. I mean,
okay, we saw that one already. Same one, multiplied. Let's see. Now here's Has Al-Din. So when I say they're all Russia shills, like we're talking Jackson Hinkle and this guy that's got a Russia flag on his Twitter. He says, who killed Charlie Kirk according to Nick Fuentes? Has Al-Din. Nick is claiming that they had a Discord chat where these people were in, or he's alluding to that. He says it's everybody with zero evidence, but definitely not Israel. 4.5 thousand likes. Look at Gnostic Informant. Has Al-Din is a double agent for Mossad. His real name is Hashem ben Elohim. That's funny. Anyway, this is the guy that runs the communist, tanky American Communist Party with Jackson Hinkle. He says Nick Fuentes lost the plot. He's broken and started to crack. After his viewers questioned why he's running cover for Israel, he said that Robinson was somehow in their Discord. Now he's implying Russia did it. Anything but Israel. He shares his Telegram. Remember, first the left celebrated and justified the killing, then turned around and said that Groypers did it. Now these Jackson Hinkle third worldist, Duganist, Eurasianist, I'll add, saying that Nick's a shill for not automatically blaming Israel for the death of Charlie Kirk. Now that I think of it, you know that Max Blumenthal, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Jackson Hinkle all have in common? Russia flag. And I'm seeing a lot of the other accounts on Twitter, the big accounts on Twitter that are promulgating this, that are also huge Putin shills too. Just noticing the Christian Muslim controlled op alliance is pushing this very heavily. Nick got the call with the kippa.
I saw all the clips on Twitter. So the other people that I saw, which was interesting, so I covered this on my show last night, and I saw all the clips on Twitter were getting bombarded by the American Communist Party, which is run by Jackson Hinkle and Infrared Haas, who is some brownoid from Michigan, some mudslime brownoid.
And they're Russian agents, let's get real. Whether they're paid or not. I mean, Hinkle's like over meeting with like their leadership, their political leadership. Total Russian propaganda.
And so my posts were being brigaded. They said, oh, you're pro-Israel. You are with the Israelis because you don't. Did you know that after this murder last Wednesday, the American Communist Party wiped its Discord server? I wonder.
And no. Don't misrepresent, Ron. I'm not saying Russia did the assassination. I'm saying the pro-Russia networks that have been, like I've been talking about for years, have been dominating the opposition to the... We've gone through stream after stream for days all of Charlie Kirk's anti-Israel statements. It's not enough to make me think that he was secretly turning to Candace Owens and needed to be taken out by Israel. I think they're just taking advantage of the situation. So, you guys, please stop spurging. Okay? If some better evidence comes out, not this circumstantial, well, like motive and like who benefits. Like sometimes things just happen to benefit other people. Okay. Let's see some good evidence.
Why that is. Could it be that maybe Tyler Robinson and the people he was involved in, maybe they were in the ACP Discord server? Maybe
American Communist Party Discord server.
They were involved in that, John Brown gun club or one of those tranny gun clubs out there in Utah. Now, did Jackson Hinkle's group, did they wipe their Discord out of an abundance of caution? Seems like a guilty conscience, maybe. Seems like they're afraid of what's in there. And if you don't come and say, oh, Israel killed Charlie Kirk, their top goy, if you're not all in on that conspiracy, they say you're a shill. Well, I don't know. It seems like they're trying to save their own asses. I don't think it was Israel this time. I think it was the left.
I don't think it's them saving their asses. If anything, I think they're just taking advantage of the situation to cause chaos. And it's ultimately like discrediting conspiracies that are going to be used to shut down anti-Semitism. So it's providing the controlled dialectic. The opposition to Israel and Zionism has been managed through all the big influencers that are all big Putin shills. It's like they're playing, if Gog is Russia, Gog and Magog is Russia, the Christian Muslim alliance of Gog is Russia, that's playing the controlled Christian Muslim opposition to Judaism through a different channel, funneled through a different channel, if anything.
And I think that people like Blumenthal and Jackson Hinkle and others, I think they'd love for you to think this is an Israel operation to divide the right and left, because this came from the left. Anyway, I just saw that. Every account I tapped on, it was all communists, all ACP, hammer and sickle in bio. They're all subscribed to this communist group.
Dude, this comment, Fly Eli says, if this was really pulled off by one crazy liberal, things like this would be happening on the regular. There's a lot of crazy liberals. We saw how many of them, how normal it was amongst liberals to think this was a good thing and celebrate it. They're whipped up into a frenzy that Charlie Kirk is a white supremacist Nazi spreading hate. This guy who, by the way, now just out, alleged Charlie Kirk assassin, played furry porn video games, was dating a transsexual furry, and was trying to, in a romantic gesture, trying to save his partner from the hate. They have access to guns. Guns are easy to get. There's a bunch of crazy violent leftists out there. It's inevitable that this stuff is going to happen. And when it does happen, Israel is going to take advantage of it to the fullest extent that they can. And when it does happen, Russia and foreign adversaries are going to work as hard as they can to use it to destabilize and demoralize and cause more fracturing of America. That's just the reality. That's all I know.
Communist Party, that's what they call themselves. So anyway, I think the Israel thing is totally falling apart. And the reason it's falling apart is because Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. You know it. I know it. We all know it. It's been a week. We can be a little bit more candid now. Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel until the day that he died.
Nick destroys Max Blumenthal, Jackson Hinkle, and Candace Owens. This is the funniest one.
Left-wing, the shamelessness. Her and Max Blumenthal, too. And Max Blumenthal, look at that guy's face and tell me that's an honest broker. Max Blumenthal is a left-wing Jew, and he is like this with Russia.
And he was just on video recently saying his greatest threat is basically like white Americans, white nationalist Americans. And he associates this with a lot of Christians. But like many left-wing anti-Zionists, they spin it that, oh, Zionism isn't Judaism, and it's actually just the Christian Zionist fault. They're backing that. They're controlling. I don't know if he says that America controls Israel. He might not say that. But you know what I'm saying. We talk about it all the time. The left-wing opposition to Zionist power still finds a way to somehow implicate and to put the blame on like white people or white settler colonialism is what they do.
Look at that guy's ghoulish.
Max Blumenthal, Gray Zone, the top guy. Remember Ben Norton? He was one of the top writers at Gray Zone. He left and started Multipolarista. Max Blumenthal was just at the Russia-Dugin conference as well. A lot of stuff out there, a lot of rumors and accusations about him being a Russian propagandist working for Russia for years. This is not something I came up with. So he also did an attack on Nick. I'm not saying everything Max Blumenthal has ever said is wrong. He's had some good, legitimate criticism of Israel, but just giving you all the context that I can here. I think it was the Gray Zone. Max Blumenthal also attacked Nick, called Nick a Fed. So there's some bad blood here. Yes, again, Blumenthal.
Pale face, this nebbish. Look at that guy's ghoulish, pale face, this nebbish, and tell me that's an honest broker. These two, you can keep them. Jackson Hinkle, he can't even tell you what communism is. He's this big. Max Blumenthal's a left-wing Jew, Russia shill, and Candace Owens is as dumb as they come. Trust me, she makes the stereotype seem true. If Ben Shapiro didn't scoop her up, you'd see her arguing with the register at Kmart. You'd see her fighting over the receipt at Kmart. She'd have a purse full of frozen steaks. Shoplifting. You can keep them. You can keep all three of them. You can keep all three of them. All these Russia shills, left-wing Jew Blumenthal, left-wing midget Jackson Hinkle, who's dumb as a fucking rock, and Candace Owens, the living, walking stereotype. Look at how she talked 10, 15 years ago. She was suing people for racism. If the Jews, and it's funny about her, the Jews wrote the script for her and they made her a star. Now that she don't have the Jews writing the script for her, now she sounds exactly like her sisters. Now she sounds like a regular sister fighting with the TSA. You can keep them. We're good. The high IQ anti-Semites are seceding from the Russia shills, the low IQ anti-Semites, the dummies.
Okay, well, guess what, Nick? Complaining about Jews killing Jesus is playing right into their hands. Okay, we're trying to get rid of the low IQ anti-Semitism, the Jewish anti-Semitism that's complaining about Jewish messiahs.
The people that say it's not the Jews, it's Israel, it's not Israel, it's Netanyahu, you can keep them. We're good.
And now, I think this is the last one from Nick. Jackson Hinkle, Hassan Piker, Destiny, they're going to jail forever, he says.
Jackson Hinkle, you're going to jail, little man. Jackson Hinkle, you're going to jail. You're going to prison. You are going to jail. I can't wait until they put Jackson Hinkle under the jail, dude. Do they even make a cell that small? They're going to have to get the cell for animals. They're going to have to get the cell for midgets and women to put Jackson Hinkle away. Jackson Hinkle, Hassan, Destiny, you're going to jail. I don't know how to tell you this, but you're going to prison forever. Hassan is being deported. Destiny and Jackson Hinkle are being imprisoned forever. The world will be a better place.
Born Aryan sent $30.
Jackson Hinkle.
Oh, I thought that was mine. I thought I got a dono. Tricked me there. You guys. Okay. Candace. I know, it's funny, Nick calling Jackson Hinkle small when Nick's like 5'6" or something. He's a little pipsqueak too. Mike Flynn, General Mike Flynn, also for years been accused of being a Russian agent. He sat at the table with Putin for an RT event as well. Sharing Jackson Hinkle and his every Israeli connection to Charlie Kirk's assassination being promoted by General Mike Flynn, tagging TPUSA and Joe Rogan and Alex Jones and Pam Bondi. Okay, I think we played that one. You make us look like idiots. Okay, he's saying that they're dude, is he watching See Through It All? I haven't seen See Through It All today, but See Through It All did a big whole tweet that got a lot of likes. Nick may have seen it, where he said, this is like the boy crying wolf. And that you're undermining legitimate criticism.
It's because, like the boy who cried wolf, and you blame them for everything, and literally everything is just Jew, 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 Israel, Israel. It does make us look like idiots. It does make us look unserious. It does.
Hey, blaming Jews for killing God does the same thing, Nick. Get the message. Get the message. It's not going to work. It was God's plan. It was the prophecies. It had to happen. You wouldn't be saved without it. Okay? Look in the mirror. Apply some of this same new epiphany you had about the low IQ anti-Semitism and get serious. And stop the Christ is King grift. The Jews killed Jesus grift.
Make it look like we actually don't have arguments, because Israel is behind a lot of things. They're not behind literally everything that happens. You can blame them for a lot. You can't blame them for literally everything that takes place on earth. And if you do, with no evidence.
No. Blaming them for killing the creator of the universe, and having that be your central argument is not going to cut it.
And then you backpedal, then you just look like an idiot. And then you just look like a crank and a kook. And how can anybody take us seriously when Israel is behind something? And here's the damage that's being done. I'm going to be very specific about this. This is not me expressing my personal problems with Candace Owens, although it may come across that way. Tanks through.
Okay, we're not going to play this full clip, but I just saw this one. This is a big influencer, the TikToker Guy Christensen, 100,000 followers. He says, Nick Fuentes has gone federal. He wants to put you in the Palantir database.
Yeah, you better believe you're going to lose your social media. You better believe you're losing your job. You better believe you're going in a database. And as long as we are in power, we will make sure that you are penalized for that in society.
Dude, they're turning all of that on the quote-unquote anti-Semites. Nick, you have to know
That's
this.
what winning looks like. There's no substitute for victory. What do you think winning looks like? Yeah, you better.
Dude, when the Zionists say they're going after the radical left, they're going after anybody that's anti-Zionist. Let's get real. Okay, now here's Jackson Hinkle's side of the argument here.
2, they're going to try to ethnically cleanse God.
Charlie denied the request because he was so offended by what Israel was doing.
I gotta be careful the way I say this. 2, they're going to try to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
You are covering up for the Jews. You cannot name the Jew.
Here he is with one of the biggest Jewish Zionists in America, Laura Loomer.
And that was me literally saying Nick Fuentes should debate the ACP guys.
Pick up the radio. The radio explodes. And then they're like, got him again.
Oz, you can't name the Jew, you're a pussy boy. Okay, here you have Zionist Jews murdering innocent people, and he's mocking it and making a joke out of it and making fun of it.
About the Israel angle. Frankly, on its face, seems ridiculous.
Some of these bastards...
This edit is so fire. Isn't this edit fire? Dude, the beat's dropping.
even tried to create hoaxes invoking our party's name. That community attempted to exploit this incident.
Dude, this is communist propaganda right here, to the T.
To get even with us because their pussy leader won't debate me, because they fear our messaging, because I will debate Nick Fuentes and destroy him.
So I guess that's the side that's saying Israel did it, and we need to have a communist revolution in America. Leftists make great bait. Dark Fuentes. Here, See Through It All's been clipping up this Haas guy. Listen to what they do.
And whoever's engaging.
Listen to the trick. Here's the communist trick. Here's the Russian controlled op talking point trick.
It should be emphasized that The conflation of Judaism with Zionism is a form of Zionist propaganda.
See, saying that this is a Judaism conspiracy, that the return of Israel and fulfilling prophecies and the religion is Judaism. If saying Zionism has anything to do with Judaism, then you're a Jew. You're a Zionist talking point. This is the communist cover-up. This is the controlled opposition. Zionism bad, but Judaism good. And if you're anti-Judaism, well, then you're anti-Semitic. Haz is just another rich kid LARPing. I don't know much about him.
And whoever's engaging in it is engaging in Hasbara, if I'm saying it right.
Hasbara.
You're engaging in propaganda for the Zionist entity. It should be emphasized that.
So criticizing Judaism means you're Hasbara propaganda. Saying that Zionism is the political arm of Judaism, Zion, returning to Zion, having a state to Zion. No, that's got nothing to do with Judaism. Cut the bullshit. Who falls for this? Zionism is Judaism. And the communists say no, they'll call you a Jew if you say that.
The conflation of Judaism with Zionism is a form of Zionist propaganda. And whoever's engaging in it is engaging in Hasbara, if I'm saying it right. You're engaging in propaganda for the Zionist entity. It should be emphasized.
Just noticing that Zionism and Judaism and rebuilding the temple and fulfilling their prophecies and having a Messiah, criticizing that is Judaism, and you're a bad person. And you're working for the Jews. If oppose Judaism and you're working for the Jews as a Hasbara agent. Bullshit. Bullshit. And they all do this. Worshipping Satan is another one that's missing the mark. But we've been doing the whole Zionism isn't Judaism thing forever. This is the communist talking point. They all regurgitate it over and over and over again. It's bullshit.